Hey, everybody, welcome to Rebound to Riches. I am Bree and I'm here with Coach Al. We are so glad you are joining us today. We've got a lot to talk about because we are coming up on our first holiday, real, big, stressful, overwhelming holiday of the season. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we manage that stress. What are some of the things that come into our lives that can be from past experiences, and how do we manage the crazy of the holiday season? Al, good to see you today. How are you?
Nice to see you too. I'm great. Thank you for asking. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. This is the great subject to talk about if you're ready emotionally and actually financially for the new holidays that's coming up. I really get so many people asking questions and coming in because there is always part of us that is either sad or afraid or questioning what is going to happen in this Christmas or Thanksgiving, because our relationships with ourselves and with other people, especially our family, there is sometimes, there is some interactions that are not great. And that's why people hesitate to go to Christmas parties or dinners or any kind of interaction with the family and people who have those interactions of negative in the past. But have you ever asked yourself, are you codependent to that emotional interaction of the past and codependent on that interaction, that what's going to happen when you go to dinner with your family and you're expecting that for him to say this or her to do that, or all the other stuff
A
that comes.
hundred percent. Like, as you're saying that, I'm already thinking Thanksgiving, 15 people, everyone's gonna have something to say, and I'm already expecting. In fact, I've even talked about, I don't want to talk about this, and I don't want to, we're not bringing this up, and it's just
Yeah.
family, because it's so rare, if you can still get your family together, even to have all of them together. And then you don't want to spoil it with, sometimes the person that's going to, besides Uncle Morty, who comes, and then your auntie that gives too many big squeezes and kisses, and just like, there's already that pressure that we have to deal with, but then it's the conversations,
Yeah.
it's where things and the dynamic, and I think that's really overwhelming. And we do come in already, we got our dukes up already, we're ready,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What am I doing? Here we go. So yes, so I can share one story about a client of mine last year. So I had bunch of them, bunch of clients last year that they were hesitant in going to, especially Christmas dinners or lunch or whatever they had in their family. So it was, so one person didn't want to go and was really hesitating. So we worked on what was the reason. And interesting enough, that core part of that hesitation is is those limiting beliefs about ourselves. So when I had the conversation with my client and we went through that laser coaching, at the end, the answer was that she thought that she's not good enough, that her brother is better than her. That's why she didn't want to go to that dinner. And it's interesting of why, and then we blame other people for their own behavior, but at the end of the day, it's best to see what is it in us that is we don't like about ourselves, or there is something, and as I said, limiting belief that I'm not good enough, that he's better than me, that she's prettier than me, that this is, I mean, all the other stuff that is deep inside of us that we don't look at because it's painful. We don't see, we don't hear ourselves. But when we do, it becomes so clear, it becomes so easy because we work on that foundation of self. So we understand, okay, if that's something that I feel that he's better than me. It's okay. Maybe he's better than me in this and this part of life, but I'm good at this part. I'm good at this, because we nobody's perfect, and we are good. We all are good in one thing or another. So just understanding that and process that. So I processed it with her, and at the end of the day, she did go. She had fun, and the interaction was wonderful after that, because she realized. What do you think? What do you think she realized?
She realized that she was great at some things, and it's okay to have other people great at their things, and it's not just because they're great at something doesn't mean that we ourselves are less than, right? I
Yeah,
think that
exactly.
we feel like, oh, they've got, and that can be, that's the thing too, is that can be so many different things, when it's family coming together, maybe, and I say this because it's kind of been the thing where, like, some people have grandchildren and some people don't have grandchildren yet, and they don't know if they're ever going to have grandchildren, so there's that jealousy, and
Yeah,
they've got
yeah.
grandkids and they're talking about babies, and now, you know what I mean, and you kind of feel left out of things. So maybe it's not that you don't feel like they're better than you, but you feel less than because you're not sharing, you're not experiencing that with them. So how do we deal with something like that where, it's because you don't see family. Usually you're lucky if you can get the family together once,
Once a
maybe
year.
twice a
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
So you're coming into seeing, family you haven't seen in a long time, and everyone's, oh, what have you been up to? And, oh, I'm having another grandchild and everything's great. And then the other one is like, oh, I would do anything to have some grandchildren. And so then they kind of, there's already there's a tension all of a sudden that builds.
yes, yes. So this is my recommendation. When it gets to that space and somebody says something doesn't sit well with you, or you feel that you're going to that negative part of yourself, excuse yourself. Go to your car, give yourself 5 minutes, go to the bathroom. I mean, anywhere that is private. Give yourself 5 minutes. Look in the mirror, look into your eyes, talk to yourself, and positive. You are beautiful. You're here to meet your family and have fun. You have the solid foundation of who you are. You're a beautiful person. You're loving. I love you. I mean, if you give yourself that few minutes of grounding yourself back to who you are, then you can go back there and talk to other people again. And it doesn't matter if you want to do it 2 3 times. Whenever that negative feeling comes up, that means that you're really not grounded, or the foundation is not solid of self. Then you can just go, give yourself a few minutes, ground yourself, and come back. And it worked. I mean, I have done it many times in different situations, and I have asked my clients to do the same thing, and it works, because sometimes when circumstances happen outside of you, which you cannot control, takes you off to another path which is not yours because of those past experiences. But knowing who you are deeply and loving yourself in that space, no matter what, then you can ground yourself back to who you are and really interact with other people again in a loving way.
Absolutely, and that's so important. And when you are in if a larger gathering, or even a, just a bigger gathering than just a couple people, you can, there is a lot of in and out kind of conversations. So you do, like, allow yourself to take that few minutes, because you can step away.
Mhm.
Oh, let me go check something in the kitchen. Let me
Yeah,
go. I got to run to the bathroom, or, oh, I got to take the dog out for a quick walk, or any, there's a lot of different excuses we can use. Oh, I have to set the timer on. So, I mean, make something up if you have to. I got to stir the gravy, whatever it could be. But there's a lot of chance to kind of, if you find yourself getting in that situation, to step away without it becoming a big thing, and just say, oh, excuse me for just a minute. Go take those minutes that you need, even if you are stirring the gravy. Just it's, while you're stirring, that's kind of like a meditative state. You got to stir and stir,
Exactly.
right? You can be like, oh, I gotta, I'm gonna just, I'm okay. I'm just gonna, I'm great. I love myself. I'm okay. I feel good, and I love what I do, or I love who I am, and even though I don't have what they have, that's great for them, and I'm okay with what's great for me right now, and just being okay with that, because we don't we don't want to sour a relationship or strain anything when we're all coming together, because as we get older, we realize those moments are so fleeting, and we should be really cherishing them as much as possible, so that when we do start to feel that way, step aside, step away, go in the bathroom, scream in a pillow. I like screaming in a pillow sometimes.
It's doing it.
I think it works. I think it works if you just need to, because you can only control your own behavior,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
it.
so
That's it.
you can't control what the other people are doing or how they're acting, unless, you know, I saw a skit with Leslie Jones. You can hire Leslie Jones, who's from SNL, to come over, and every time the subject comes up you don't want to talk about, she'll just start screaming really loudly and tell them not to say anything. Which I was really considering. If I'd found her phone number, I would have called and hired her. But I think there's, and I think that we're going into a very different sort of holiday season this year, right? Things are a little hard on everyone right now. I think there's a lot of people that have been uninvited to things, but if you are going to a Thanksgiving meal or a holiday meal together, what are some tips that we can use, because we can't control what others are saying? What are some things that we can do to, it's not something that we're dealing with, like, oh, so and so's got grandkids, or they just got a great big job, and I've been trying to get this one job for the longest time and I don't get it, and they seem to get every job they apply for. That kind of thing I get is like a normal thing. But this year is a little different because of the political turmoil that's been going on. And I think, everyone feels very strongly about what they believe, and
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
whether they share your opinion or not. What my opinion is, I feel very strongly about, and someone can be on the other side of the aisle, has a very strong opinion as well, and I don't want to even go there or bring anything up, but I can't control what they do. So what if I'm experiencing things and they're talking and stuff like that, and I don't want to partake in that? What are some things that I can do for myself to just not engage? And I know we could step away again, but what are some things that we can tell ourselves, to reassure ourselves, and to just kind of shut that down and step
Yeah.
away from it?
I mean, believe me, I'm originally from Iran, and everybody asks me the same question. What do you think about because of my background?
Hmm.
Um, a lot of times I just say, our conversation, our friendship is about our friendship. And I'd really rather not talk about politics, because that's not something that I really don't uh, like to discuss,
Hmm.
because of my past experiences. So let's talk about today and what are we going to do tomorrow, whatever. And I just changed the subject because I really don't want to go in that route. I know exactly where they are in their political mindset. I know where I am in my own mindset. But a lot of, I don't want to break those friendships or interactions because of that. So you're asking what's going to happen when you go to dinner, Christmas dinner, and people are talking about politics. If I was hosting the event, I would ask everybody and would say, tonight is a family time and friends. So I would really appreciate if everybody talks about the their own self, whatever sits well with them, except politics. Let's put politics, whatever it is, for everybody here, out the door, outside. And then when you come inside, let's just be loving. Let's talk about Christmas. Let's talk about how the interactions, talk about the positive things that we all have, and we can share that. And when you go out, you can take it back and take it with you.
You
Not,
take it home with you. Don't leave it here. I don't want it in my house. Take it with you.
yeah, in
No,
this,
I like that. I like that.
yeah. And then if it's not your, event, and somebody's talking about that, and then you're in a group, and you walk away, and you go talk to some other people, or when they ask you, just say the same thing I say. It's, I mean, that's, I recommend that, whatever you want to say.
I like
But
that though. I'm here about it. I'm here to share family and love and
yeah,
what we're doing, and that I don't want to talk, and that's okay to do though. I
yeah,
don't know. I think we need to give people more permission to show up, and say I just don't want to partake in that. I am here because I love my family and I want to be with my family, and tell me about work or tell me about your days or what are you doing, and
yeah,
I want to know about you, not about what the outside world is doing right now,
yeah.
right?
And especially on Thanksgiving, that's what we do when we sit on the table. Then everybody talks about what they're thankful for, and what are they looking forward for next year, just it brings that positive interaction and joy. Because
Yeah,
when you think about what are you thankful for, then you can go deeper and ask yourself what has happened. You can be even thankful with why I'm sitting here healthy, happy, with a smile on my face. I'm
yeah,
thankful for that.
yeah,
It can be simple.
that's right. And if somebody says they're thankful for something that's coming in January, I will not fling potatoes in their face, I promise.
Yeah.
I will sit quietly and just be like, all right, let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, because you cannot control
You
anybody,
can't.
and you cannot, unless they ask you, what do you think about what I said? Then maybe you can make a comment. But other than that, yeah, good for you. Let's go to the next person. That's
Yeah,
it. Because, and the other thing that always, in the group settings, in my group programs, everybody learns from each other. So it can be that when you ask, let's talk about who is thankful, what are you thankful for, you know, in on this Thanksgiving dinner, and then they all will, you learn from each other. Oh my God, he's only thankful for his health, or he's thankful for his mother, or whatever it is. Then it makes you think, am I thankful for that? Should I be thankful for my own health?
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to kind of shift things now into other things that happen at the holidays. I think, in upcoming episodes, I definitely want to talk about how, the pressures of the holidays and our spending and there's always a lot of pressure, and everyone will say, oh, it's a $10 gift limit. And then they show up with $100 gifts for everybody. And you're just like, really? And I think let's talk about the money pressures of that. But what I wanted to talk about is the pressures of having to do it all and be it all during the holiday season for people. I think that we experience a lot, and I think it's okay. I want to talk about what is it in our past and how do we, because these can be more recent events in our past, but when it comes to the expectations, a lot of times there's exes that come to dinner because of the kids, or there's some kind of new family, old family kind of thing that comes together, or
Yeah.
you have to split Thanksgiving, and there's so much pressure on some of those things, and there can be some animosity between people that maybe it doesn't go way back in your past, but it definitely goes back, and it's this resentment that you're holding on to. What are some of the things that you recommend for people that are going to have that have to show up to something that even though they really don't want to be there, that puts them in an awkward, uncomfortable situation?
I invite people to really question themselves. If you're invited to uh, your son or daughter's Thanksgiving or holiday party, and you're going to see your ex there, and with his wife or his husband, her husband, and then you're not happy about that because you're going to go there alone, you're not with anybody right now, then ask yourself, is that the reason why I don't want to go? And that means that you have some negative feelings from that past experience. The truth is, if we are connected to ourselves and we're grounded in a space that we love ourselves for who we are, wherever we are, with someone, without someone, then going to these events is not going to bother you because you're content with who you are and where you are in your life. But if you have some negative feelings, that means that you have to, it has nothing to do with them. It has many things to do with yourself. So I'm sorry to give you this straightforward, but this is what it is. And the best way is to, that I recommend, is to ask yourself a question, why? And that why can be just one answer, it can be 20 answers. And maybe that would be the New Year's resolution or before the New Year's of how to clear those whys for yourself and be in that space of, we talk about self-love and accepting who we are. That's a key to being able to interact and participate in all those interactions because of your loved ones. You do want to go to your sons, your daughters, or whoever in a party because you love them, and not because you don't want to go because of the in-laws or whatever. But look at yourself and see what is it that you don't like about yourself in that space. Answering that why part is very important.
Yeah, that is so true, because I think it's understanding, why is it so uncomfortable for you? Why does it hurt so much? Why is there that pushback because there are people there that you do want to see, and if it's a son or daughter or a family, their family there or friends there that you really want to see, and maybe shifting the focus on that, and also resolving what that is that's holding us back and not wanting us to go. Because I will always go back to just the fact that the moments we get to share with our family and friends at the holiday season are so special. I like my favorite part of a holiday meal is, as I'm starting to clear plates, seeing everyone in their conversations, laughing and talking, and I'll just sit back with two plates in my hand, I don't care, and I'll just watch. And that's like the joy that I receive out of that whole experience of the night, is seeing the family gather together, seeing the friends gather together, because I know that those times don't happen very often. And I try to take as much of it in as I possibly can. And
Yeah,
so if we can remember that those are the reasons why we go, and hold on to those things, and not let whatever our emotional ties are, or our pain, maybe it's pain, it could be pain from that someone has caused you, to prevent you from experiencing those things, I think is so very important, because they are so fleeting. Man, I sound like I am so old. When I was younger, I would have been like, it's just another Christmas, don't matter. But like, as you get older, you start to see how hard it is to get everyone together and do everything, and so you cherish all of those moments as much as possible, and maybe ask yourself, do I want to let this keep me from experiencing that?
yeah, exactly. Those questions that you ask yourself, it's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we going to talk about our 30
Yes,
day?
yes,
Because
yes, yes,
that will
yes.
help them. That would help them for sure to get to that space of visiting and interacting with ease and loving themselves and knowing who they are and what they want and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's right. We're going to talk about Jumpstart 25 Rebounder Riches. It is our 30-day program, and I actually have a video I can share, so watch this quick. Are you ready to transform your life before 2025 even starts? Then I've got the perfect opportunity for you. It's called Jumpstart 25 Rebound to Riches, and it's a 30-day program running from December 1st to December 30th. Over those 4 weeks, you'll get daily live coaching, workshops, and a supportive community to help you make some powerful shifts. We're talking self-love mastery, getting your finances on track, building consistent self-care routines, and breaking free of old relationship patterns. It's the jumpstart you need to enter the new year feeling centered, confident, and ready to chase your biggest dreams. But spots are limited, so you'll want to grab your spot ASAP before they fill up. So what are you waiting for? Transform your December, transform your 2025. Join Jumpstart 25 today. Scan the code in this video. Hey, there we go. A fun little video to let you know, yes, we are doing a 30-day transformation. We want to help you get ready for 2025, a jump start on all of your goals to kind of just cruise right into the new year already with everything in place. Imagine starting 2025 with a routine, with great goals, with tips and strategies already at your fingertips, already on your way to making 2025 your best year yet. And that's what we're going to be doing in this 30-day program. It does start December 1st and it goes through the 30th. You get one day off from us. But I'm excited for this. I'm so excited. It's only $99 to join for the entire program. And we're going to be doing live daily, like motivations. We're going to give you tips every single day. I'm going to be coming in there on the weekends to do some DIY spa because I've been a small business owner with a bath and body shop for almost 20 years. And so I'm going to be sharing some of my tried and true. I know, I'm excited too. So you're going to get some recipes from me. I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to come out of there with all of this amazingness on my end of things. But Coach Ella's in there, and she is going to be talking all about self-love, self-worth, and also we're going to talk about finances and how to get started. And I think especially, Elle, how we get through these holidays, right? And so that we are not like filled with all that regret that we have the first or second week of January when those credit card bills roll in. Like, so tell us a little bit about what you'll be sharing.
Yes. So actually, we're gonna have a special group that everybody who joins in a group. So we're gonna give you, like, I call it the heart work. So you can think about, it's just a few questions that you can answer for yourself. That's about self-love, the finances, and all that. I'm gonna have a financial consultant to come in and give you some tips about how to go through all this, look at the 2024 and how you want 2025 to change in that space of finances. So she has some tips. We're going to bring her in, and she will talk to you guys as well. So it's going to be a full program of 30 days. And we give you a lot of stuff to think about, a lot of stuff to, take care of yourself. I'm excited about what Bree is going to show about because my skin on my face is very important.
Right.
And other than relationships, of course, relationship itself, I'm going to talk about that a lot and give you some tips on how to really make peace with who you are. I mean, if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, and you have been going through these patterns of interacting with yourself and others, let's look at that.
Yeah.
How can we be in that space of contentment with who we are in our body as well? Because we don't want to get sick. We don't want to have all these heart issues, stomach issues, all that stuff, just because of the outside part of the interaction that you have experienced in the past. So we're going to talk about that too.
That's amazing. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for it. 30 power-packed days with experts coming in. Hillary Russo is going to be coming in, and she is going to do some havening with us. We're going to get all kinds of ideas from that. Lots of guests coming in, lots of things for you to really start your 2025 the right way. And we're going to do it as a big group, and we would love to have you join us. We do have limited spots, so I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to do that. I'm going to put the link in below this video so that you can sign up right away so you can secure your spot. But it is so exciting. It's going to be It's going to be a lot of work, but a lot of fun, and it's not too much work that it's going to interfere with your holidays. It'll actually make your holidays go smoother and easier because you're going to feel so prepared to handle all of it. We're going to be your support group to get you through all the craziness of the holidays and start the new year with a really solid plan. I think that's what's most important, is having that solid plan, so that when you look at your friends and you're like, hey, how are those New Year's resolutions? And they're like, I haven't even gotten to them yet. You can be like, I am already on it and already moving forward. And you have got yourself set and ready for 2025 to truly make it your best year. I can't wait. I literally,
Yes, exciting.
it's going to be great.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us today. I will put more information. Thanks for hanging out with us. There'll be information in the chat below in the comments section. I will put the link to sign up. If you have any questions, please leave us some questions. We'd love to answer them. We'll be back here next week for another episode. We're going to start really talking about holiday spending and what are the pressures, and maybe they stem from our childhood, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for being
Thank
here. We'll see you
you.
next time.